Let's fucking go. You are listening to the Outlaw Apostle Podcast. I'm your host, Troy Neff. I'm the fucking guy.
Whoa! Who knew I would make it this far? They hated, they never believed me. Yeah, I would never drop the ball. I know I make it look easy. Yeah, Mayweather with the defense. I don't care what a critic got to say. I got them picking up the pieces. That to me, you really playing with your life. I'm about to come and run it all back. I'm the new era, about to snap back. You ain't fitting for it, cause you all cap like, hold up. I shoot my shot, wait, hold up. I'm really about to run this go up. You know it's all net when it go up. Ain't got no other plans, you don't need to understand.
And welcome. It is Monday morning, and this is the Outlaw Apostle Podcast. I'm your host, Troy Neff. I'm the fucking guy behind the controls. Has everything all set up, ready to go this morning, is Leo. Leo, good morning.
Good morning, Troy. How you doing today, man?
Good. How much soccer did you watch this weekend?
There wasn't too much to watch yesterday, unfortunately, just because there was only one game. But I pretty much watched all the rest of the games. I did fall asleep a few times, but
that can happen.
But the round of 32 is going, so I mean, no more tying from here on out. So it should be nice and good.
Already one in the books, with Canada being the first one.
Yeah, they'll definitely be knocked out next round, though.
I sure hope so, because you know why? I hate Canada. So I definitely was rooting for Canada to lose. Didn't happen. It's okay. There was some crazy stuff at the end. You know, people celebrating a little too soon. Iran, who really had, if it wasn't for bad luck, they'd have had no luck at all. Everything that could go wrong for them, and having a chance to be one of the number 3 teams that advances just didn't happen, but they thought it was going to, with about 2 minutes left in one of the other games, and then there's a score and knocked them out. So one team celebrating, one team not. On the couch is Mikey G. Mikey, how are you?
I'm doing all right. I'm doing okay this morning. How about yourself?
I'm doing good. Big thing. You know, I think it's going to be better for me betting now than earlier.
Why?
Because you can't have ties now.
Yeah, it won't fuck you. Someone's got to win.
Somebody's got to win, right?
Yep.
Yeah, because, you know, I got fucked again, this time by Ronaldo.
Well, you need to score a goal?
I needed them to score a goal.
Oh, yeah, and it was a 0-0 draw, wasn't it?
Yeah, or what was the one game where it was like 0-0? It was Ghana. Who was Ghana playing it? And it was like 0-0, and then in the last 2 minutes, somebody scored.
I think that was against Panama, wasn't it? Wasn't it Panama?
Yeah, Panama was like that too.
Leo, I could have swore. I thought we were watching. Leo and I don't know. We were watching one game, but I thought that was it.
And the Portugal game, when I first turned it on, I thought of you guys when I first turned it on YouTube. It didn't let me choose the Fox Sports selection. There's like 4 different channels to choose from.
Yeah.
The only one that would work is the Telemundo.
Yeah.
So we listened to the whole first half of the game in Spanish.
How'd it go?
Dude, it was funnier than shit. Because they were so excited and they talked so fast. I mean, it was just a whole different experience.
Yeah.
For a half, then I was able to find a multi-view page had it. And so I went to the multi-view, then I clicked on it, and that was Fox, of course. So
worked, yeah.
And the sound worked and everything came up. So that was okay. It was kind of cool, to see some teams win and move on, and fans be excited that have never done anything like that before. I kind of thought that was interesting. Um,
So
Argentina, I thought it was kind of, you basically just put Messi in so he can still go for the golden boot, right?
yeah, and he fucking drilled a free kick.
That free kick was so amazing because everybody's looking for it to go over top, and he puts it low in the smallest place and puts it perfectly there. It's perfect.
Yeah. Yeah, the goalie pretty much had no chance. Like by the time he realized what was happening, it was too late. You could see just on his face and his body language, like he went real quick and he was like, "Ah, fuck it, I'm
Yep.
not getting to that."
Wrong reaction. Just real quick like that. So, but he just glides and makes it so easy. Or, yeah, when there's 2 or 3 guys around him, sometimes they can squeeze him a little bit and steal the ball, but that's not that often. He just got moves like Fred Astaire. Like he's just
Yeah.
smooth like an old timer. He just kind of glides, and you're like, wow. And even setting up some other people. So that's what I saw, and we watched quite a bit of it. Different games, and enjoyed it. Both Dawn and I. Um, any big highlight? What was the biggest highlight for you? Just go with the whole group stage. What was the biggest highlight for you in the group stage?
Well, for me, it's gonna sound biased, but just Team USA moving on to the next round. I I like watching other countries and I like watching other players, but I just don't get the same satisfaction as I do when I watch Team USA. Even if they lose, like that game against Turkey, or Turkey, how whatever the fuck we're doing, I still like thoroughly enjoyed watching that game just because just seeing Team USA, seeing those colors represented, the flag represented,
Mhm.
I just really like that feeling. In terms of like maybe the best goal, or I mean the highlight of it's got to be just Messi's just been absolutely masterful the entire fucking tournament. I mean, every time he's on the pitch, you're expecting him to score a goal.
Yeah.
Like it's not one of those things where like, oh, it's pretty up. Like no, you're expecting him to score at least one goal,
Mhm.
and I think to have somebody like that day in and day out, it's something that doesn't come around very often. Because even the best players in the world that some say that are better than him now, they're not scoring a fucking goal every game.
No.
They're having good games. They're playing elite, but they're not scoring goals, and that's what people like to see.
And, multiple goals even. I mean, if he would have been in there longer, there's been no reason to believe that he wouldn't have
Yeah,
uh multiple goals. The disappointment on the betting side of that is you couldn't bet on him making a goal.
it has to be
He,
two
he
plus.
no, he wasn't even a choice. I think
Damn.
because since he didn't start, they didn't even give him a choice. There weren't even you didn't even get bad odds, by
Huh.
selecting it. There were
Yeah.
no odds. It was at least on DraftKings, there was no choice to pick him
Huh.
on goals. Like so if you wanted to pick him, you know, and one or more goals, and select the team, and because I got screwed again in my parlay by Portugal.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm picking the right
Yeah.
teams, but come on, man.
Yeah, it's a pain. Like when there's multiple options like that, like when you can tie, it's just a pain in the ass. But I think another cool thing is Cape Verde or
Yeah.
Capo Verde, like them moving on too. Their first ever World Cup, like they moved on, right? I'm not hallucinating that. Am I?
No, they moved on,
Oh
and
yeah,
that was
they're
exciting.
a second team. Okay.
Very exciting. Early on, they were the team that was like, "Who the hell are they? Where is Cape Verde?" And just awesome because the one game, the goalie had like 16 stops.
Mm-hmm.
They were just barrage after barrage of shots at the goal.
Yeah.
And I think that was a game they ended up in a tie.
Yeah.
Did they have one tie?
They tied all three of their games.
Yeah. But like shots on goal, I mean, that goalie to me, was the most impressive goalie that I've seen.
Yeah, I just like I like a good underdog story. You know, America loves
Mhm.
underdogs,
I do.
and you know, if the United States gets knocked out much earlier than I'm expecting, then I'm definitely going to be rooting for them. Just because why the hell not? I'd like to see a small team make a deep run like that.
Yeah, I mean, I said from the beginning, I really liked Messi, so I'm kind of rooting for the USA and Argentina.
Yeah.
So, and I don't know if they could meet each other.
I don't know how
I
that.
don't think so.
I don't think so. I think by the way the bracketing works, it would have to be like some sort of
Either semifinals or finals.
yeah, something like that. It would have to be a very deep run for those two to face each other. Actually, I think it might be the finals. That was, yeah, it'd have to be the
All right.
yeah.
Thanks, Leo.
But yeah, I think it's been really fun to watch so far. I'm not gonna lie, I haven't watched every single game. There's been a lot of fucking games. But I think who was it that seeing Mexico win their first 3 games, and then seeing they have like some 17-year-old in the midfield that's kind of just like making it all work. I didn't realize how young this dude was, but he's young, 17, playing in a World Cup, like, and an integral part of the team. It's probably like between them, it's USA, Mexico, and then obviously Cape Verde. Like that's probably going to be like my trio of teams that I'm going to be most interested in. I don't really have any skin in the game with a lot of these other countries. They got players that are good or players I might like, but there's never. I'm more about the team type deal. I'm never. It's not really about one player, if that makes any sense for me personally. I like seeing like teams play well together and kind of like overcome odds and just do better than what people are expecting them. Like you said, we expect Messi to go out there and fucking kill it every single time. Cool to watch, but I prefer to just to see like the bigger stories like that, I guess.
France, I just want to see lose.
Yeah,
because they're right up there. Canada. Then I don't know. I said Australia, but it might be France number 2 that I dislike.
What did France do?
They're just assholes, dude. They just hate Americans and just they're cocky and they haven't ever done shit. They don't, like how are you still a country
of Brazil, Japan? So I think they think that they match up better with those 3 other squads than the other one. So that's why I think I'm almost certain that they went for second place because it did not look like they wanted to win that game at all.
Well, yeah, by taking out your best players for 100%.
Yeah.
When you haven't secured the first overall placement.
I don't like that.
I don't need, like, I understand it
and
from
not when people are healthy.
Yeah, like I get it strategically, but like that's a matchup the entire world was waiting to see. And it sucks that it ended up that way, but hopefully
shit, it might still happen.
I say hopefully it still happens again and we'll get that actual rematch.
Because France is almost like 99.8% chance of going to the finals.
That's crazy. I mean, that's crazy. But then they had like, what's his name? Ousmane Dembele. He had like 3 goals the other day.
I love Dembele.
Like he's killing it. Yeah. Like they're fucking stacked. They're like how?
Yeah, I think is he number 2?
Is he number 2?
On the list for goals for the Golden Boot?
Oh no, he's like 5th.
Yeah, there's.
I he's
think
higher than 5th.
Messi's number 1.
Yeah.
Mbappe, Holland.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say he's tied with 4 goals, but
I saw like 3 dudes tied with 4 goals, I think, and then Messi had 5. Which he could have. I mean, he could have easily had like another hat trick in these games too. Let's see who's oh, right there, first one. Yes, sir. Adidas golden boot.
I wish I should have wrote it down. They're
yeah. So yeah, it's like
3rd. Oh wow.
But there's like 4 dudes
Okay.
tied
So
at
everyone
3rd
got 4,
or
that's why.
2nd.
Okay.
Yeah, they're all with 4. So we'll see. We'll see how this plays out. But I think we're all expecting for Messi to get this golden boot. To be honest,
Might go. No, I think
Sometimes-
France. Unless Argentina makes it far, I think Mbappe or Dembele will take the golden boot for sure. Unfortunately.
it just is amazing to me with the technology and you think it's great and everything, but it's just slowing the game down so much with some of these reviews. And there was one, I swear to God, that what it showed was about this much, literally, not even an inch
Yeah.
of the tip of somebody's shoe based on, the electronics in the ball and everything that they can track and see now. I mean, like, really?
Yeah.
Really?
I mean, that's a double-edged sword with technology in sports these days. Is that it helps with the calls that are blatantly missed, but it also can work against you with the most minuscule measurements of being offsides. Or
Yes.
even in the MLB with the strike zone, like it'll be 0.1 inches off the fucking plate, but it's still a ball and it gets
Hmm.
reversed. So like that's I don't think people saw. I think people think of all the big stuff that's missed and how it's going to rectify that, but I don't think a lot of people are thinking of how much those situations were to come about. Those little small situations.
Yeah. And the reviews are getting ridiculous in the WNBA because the officials are so bad. And now after the Caitlin Clark incident again, they're getting hammered. So everything is going to the
Yeah.
review for to see if there's an upgrade. It's like,
It's
oh
yeah.
my God.
It's an overcorrection. Yeah.
Yeah, like it's basketball. Sometimes it's one thing if somebody, how can you judge intention? You could judge intention by somebody just normal doing a normal move and making a shot and they come into contact. Now, you stick your elbows way out and do a big swinging, that's kind of reckless.
Yeah.
Okay, that's so
For
you
sure.
know that you can call it there that it's reckless.
Yeah.
So I think it is one of those things you can tell, but they're not consistently doing that either. So that was just, yeah. All right. What else did I have? Oh, let's do the World Cup tour since we're on the World Cup. So this Laura Ratliff, this is kind of funny. I'm just going to read it. So go ahead and take it down. If the 2026 FIFA World Cup has taught international visitors anything, it's that Americans take air conditioning very, very seriously. Between the matches, sightseeing, and cross-country road trips, European fans have discovered what may be the tournament's most unexpected MVP: aggressively chilled indoor spaces. According to TikTok, where Pound World Cup has surpassed 8 million posts, and World Cup 2026 has reached nearly 2 million. Videos marveling at America's devotion to air conditioning have become one of the tournament's defining off-field trends, alongside clips about cowboy culture, Costco runs, and late-night IHOP breakfasts. Visitors are documenting a newfound appreciation for a country that apparently believes that every building should feel like a refrigerator. French creator Michael Phelps summed up the mood after arriving in Texas, joking that air conditioning deserved a verse to your national anthem. His videos, along with countless others from European travelers, show tourists ducking indoors after stepping into triple-digit temperatures, only to emerge as enthusiastic converts to central air. The comments are filled with fellow visitors admitting they finally understand why Americans keep sweaters in movie theaters and restaurants, even in the middle of summer. The timing isn't exactly surprising, as many World Cup host cities have been serving up classic American summer weather. Houston, Kansas City, and other venues battling intense heat and humidity throughout the tournament. In Houston, where temperatures have climbed into the triple digits, FIFA Fan Fest has installed misting stations, hydration areas, shaded spaces, and air-conditioned cooling zones to help fans cope. Visitors from Sweden, England, and elsewhere have cheerfully described the experience as sweltering, but also part of the adventure as they bounce between the matches and over air-conditioned hotels, malls, and restaurants. The air conditioning obsession is just one chapter in what has become a broader TikTok love letter to American quirks. British visitors are posting earnest reviews of IHOP restaurants and discovering that multiple syrup flavors are, in fact, a real thing. Scandinavian tourists are making pilgrimages to Bass Pro Shops. Japanese creators are documenting everything from convenience store snacks to seafood boils, while others are embracing Buc-ee's pit stops, cowboy hats, and mechanical bulls. You got to love Buc-ee's. And still down? That wasn't it. None of that means visitors have forgotten the heat outside. If anything, that's precisely why America's indoor climate control has become the tournament's unlikely breakout star. Step out into Houston's humidity or Kansas City's sticky summer air for 5 minutes. TikTok video suggesting suddenly 68-degree hotel lobby starts to feel like an amenity more than like a national treasure. Is that it?
Yeah, that's.
Was
it.
there a different article on this that I sent to? Because the other one I thought I sent, it had a lot to do with climate change and how they all feel conflicted because of climate change. Like they feel guilty for, having cool air.
Why would they feel guilty about it? Like it's just
Because of how much energy it uses. Because the government keeps telling them that. Yeah, that's the story I meant to really read. I mean, this was okay, but I just thought the other one was funnier because of them being in this moral box that like, oh, I really love this, but I'm not supposed to love it because it's, going to ruin the planet.
Yeah. Well,
That's what it was.
I think we can rest assured that that's not the case because we fucking do it all day, every day. Almost every American has it pretty much. That
was a Washington Post account, and you can't pull it up. I'll have to. There's got to be a way that I can give you my Washington Post.
I usually am able to sign in. It's just because I had some stuff done to the computer. I don't have any other login information at the moment.
Right.
So by Wednesday, we'll have Washington Post available.
All right. So that's it. I mean, I think it's funny. Your thoughts on Europeans and how they're enjoying the U.S.?
Welcome to the 21st century, dude. Like I get it's easy for us to take it for granted because we have it here every single day, but like to me it's not something that's so like it's not like we live in golden fucking castles and like we have servants and shit like this. Like everyday Americans have AC. They have it in their car, they have it in their house. Like I just think they need to just get with the fucking times over there. Like I'm all about preserving history and architecture and stuff, but like I don't know. It's 2026. I think we can have both at the same time. You can have an old building and AC.
The truth is that you cannot the European middle class is not equivalent to the American middle class.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we can say all the things and the problems that the American middle class is going through now, but they are in much better shape than the middle class of anywhere else in the world.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It's not even close.
100%. And that's a kind of a recurring theme too. I've been getting so many of these tourist videos of them just shocked about America. And like, yeah, it's just they talk about like it's just America is just I don't want to say they're calling it perfect, but like it's almost like a paradise to them. Like it's a lot
A
of
heathenistic paradise.
Yeah, like like one video I was watching, this guy was just like he was talking about his time in America. He had just gotten back, and he was just like, "I want to go back. Like I don't want to fucking be in Europe anymore." he's like, if you want to live if you want to live life the way that you want to live, go to America. That was his words. He's like, if you want to do this, you want to do that, go to America. You have that opportunity. You have that chance there. And I think that's like I think that's the biggest compliment to America out of any of them. AC, food, all great. But the fact that people are coming over here for 2 weeks, a week, however long, and they're like, I could truly live how I wanted to, if I want to.
And after eating a Philly cheesesteak,
Yeah.
they understand why Americans are fat.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely. They're like, oh my God, the food.
Yeah.
I love it, but this is not good for me. I would be fat.
Oh, absolutely. And it's hard
They
because
get it.
we get a lot of good food like from all sorts of different areas. So like you have good Chinese food, good Mexican food, good American food, fucking Thai, Indian, like you name it, we fucking got it. Your choices are endless. But I like I said, I just love the fact that they acknowledge that America, rightfully so, is the greatest country on earth just by the fact that you can live life how you choose to do so in this country.
And being able to move all around everywhere.
Yeah. And have you ever used to see like the memes or like the stuff on the internet how they talk about how Americans they're not intelligent because they're not as traveled, they're less traveled. Well, to them, they can drive 15, 20 minutes and they're in a completely different country. Like us, you drive 15, 20 minutes, you're just in another town. Like it's America is so vastly big. And I don't think any of them truly understood how big America was until they fucking saw it.
Yeah.
Because like they're like, oh, that's why they're not well traveled, because they don't need to fucking go anywhere else if they don't want to. Like they have everything that they need right here. So I just like the realization that the media has been lying to them. America is not this fucking shithole hillbilly haven, and that we hate anybody that's not that's not American. It's just
Except Canadians.
Yeah, we're just everyday fucking people, just like the rest of them.
Yes, we are. And their stadiums are nothing like these stadiums.
Oh, absolutely.
Nothing. These are state of the art. I don't know. I'm sure there's one or two, but I don't know whose it would be off the top of my head. But to compare on generally, SoFi or any of those.
Yeah, the what's Allegiant Stadium is the Raiders one. That's a newer one, right? Allegiant Air. Yeah, that's
Dallas. They're in Dallas. Dallas is huge.
Jerry World. Well, there's again another video I saw. The guy was at SoFi Stadium for one of the games. And he was like, this would be one of the best, if not the best stadium in all of the Premier League. And to say that, that's like, the quote unquote best league in the entire world. So to him just walk into just an NFL stadium that's shared by two teams.
Yeah.
Like, and say, hey, this is state of the art. This is better than pretty much anything I've ever seen. Like, again, it just shows you what this country has to offer at every level.
And since, we're really big football, not football, football fans. What do you think of a number of NFL players, current, even former NFL players, making comments about the fields being grass because players have wanted to play on grass, even on indoor fields, and have gotten kind of rebuffed, and it was mandated for these soccer matches, and they made it work. Why is it seem like such a leap to get the NFL to say, all right, we see how it's done, let's try it?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with them. I personally think that all all stadiums should be NFL stadiums, pretty much all sports stadiums. If it has grass, it needs to be real grass. I don't like turf because I just think there's too much the percentages of injuries that happen on like turf fields compared to grass. I mean, it's kind of ridiculous sometimes.
It's a big deal.
And like MetLife Stadium is a big, like the number one example. I call that place a graveyard. I mean, there's been some of the most elite players in this league have torn their ACLs there. Off the top of my head, Nick Bosa and Saquon Barkley just in the last few years, like that torn their ACL. Like I just think that it should be a mandate for all NFL teams to use natural grass, and it's possible. They just don't want to spend the money on it. That's the issue.
Dude, when I was playing indoor flag football on a soccer field that, had the ground up tire in it and stuff,
Yeah.
that happened to one of our players. Just totally ripped his knee in the first half of the
Yeah.
game and was
It's unnatural.
was finished.
Yeah. I mean, because
Yeah.
you step one way and your body goes a different, but it doesn't move because it's so gripped into there. There's
Yeah.
no fucking give. But it's funny that you bring that up because I was telling Leo one time that ESPN did one of it's like 30 for 30s or ESPN 60 documentaries. So the person who came up with that, they won a Nobel Peace Prize because they had this big issue with tires, not knowing what to do with them. And he was like, "Hey, let's fucking ground these tires up and put them on these fields to help with like the grip and everything."
Mm-hmm.
And essentially, what happened was that they did a study on this girl's college soccer team, and they saw an unusual spike in cancer, like all these different types of cancers. And basically, to make a long story short, what they traced it down to was that when they're tackling or falling, whatever it is, like even in the heat of the moment, they're ingesting those bits of tire on accident, one way or another. And like that's what was happening is they were ingesting these bits of tires and they was giving them cancer. And so
Wow.
and then like once it got like a real study and like actually published, they tried to sweep it under the rug so hard because they did. I mean, this guy, it's millions of dollars. This guy won a Nobel Peace Prize for solving this unsolvable solution. So like there was a lot of backtracking that would need to be done and a lot of pride that would need to be swallowed.
Yeah.
And it's still fucked up. Like they still do it. It's hasn't changed, and like they have studies showing that it does cause cancer. So
Well, it seemed like an improvement at the time, with these artificial fields, because when I was growing up, in the 70s, the artificial fields that were in the Bengal Stadium, that were in Pittsburgh, were basically just thin carpet.
yeah,
There wasn't these fake grass things or
Yeah.
rubber or anything, and it was just this thin carpet over top of cement,
yeah,
and that caused a lot of damage.
hell
So this, I'm sure it looked like an improvement at the time,
yeah.
but now knowing what we know now, and with the amount of money that these leagues make now and these owners make, why wouldn't you want to protect the guy you just signed for $250 million to be your leader for the next 4 or 5 years? Why do you not want to protect him and put in that field? That, to me, that's like an insurance policy.
Yeah.
I mean, bad things can still happen, but you dramatically reduce the risk of it happening, or or how severe it could be.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I think the Cardinals have that mechanism where they just roll it, like mechanically rolls in and out of the stadium. Like they'll water it and then they'll
Mhm.
roll it out in the sun so it it dries up and then they bring it back in. Something like that. But I mean, if the Cardinals can do it, historically not the best franchise ever. If they can
Mhm.
fucking figure it out, I'm sure these other teams could.
Yeah, I'm sure they could. This was just funnier than fuck to me. That I'm all about marketing. I love marketing. I love to see how businesses do things, and this was just brilliant. FIFA tried to basically take over and say anything associated with the stadium, that these people paid for. They paid when Coca-Cola pays for the rights to have whatever signage they're going to have inside a stadium. That's not just for the game. That's for concerts. That's for whatever happens in that stadium
Mm-hmm.
that they're paying for that. But somehow they get bumped. And I think FIFA could have still made money anyways and still had, with their branding of people paying for them. But doing this, they did some really cool things. Levi Stadium was one of the real big ones that did really good. And they had to cover up the Levi, and it was very big. And what they did, as you can see, they did it so thin that you could see it almost even better now with it being covered up than not. So now it's just, for the World Cup, it's, San Francisco Stadium. That's what it's called.
I think that's stupid as fuck for FIFA to try and come in and because like you said, there's some of these companies, their whole stadium's named after them. How can you expect somebody to just completely get rid of all of their advertising in their own stadium?
That was 200 Levi Stadium. I don't know how many years it's for, but they paid $220 million for the naming rights of that stadium.
Yeah.
And the thing is, now it's become like an internet joke, and it's spread, and for basically nothing. They're not paying for whatever it takes to make the content.
Yep.
They're getting a big bang for their dollar because of FIFA doing this. You know what I mean?
It's like they call it the Streisand effect, and the more you try to cover something up or make it go away, the more popular it gets, and that's at play here perfectly.
And did you see that on Heinz ketchup bottles? They left the bottles.
Yeah.
They just put tape over it.
God,
over the Heinz, and you could tell what the logo is, and then they're all making in fact, in Levi's, they started doing that in their stores to make fun of this too, cover up the Levi just as a joke. I think it's hilarious.
I mean, that could turn into something where down the road, maybe there's limited editions or only a certain amount of X things were made with this covered up Levi's logo. So who knows, maybe down the road, a few years later, they could be worth much more because of the whole the fascination with all this. So I could see that being a thing. 100% is exclusive. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, the only stadium that they finally determined couldn't cover up the signage is Mercedes-Benz. That it just was almost impossible to do.
Well, isn't Mercedes aren't international teams sponsored by Mercedes? I could have swore there's some international teams.
Yeah, but that's not. They were supposed to cover that up, and it just couldn't be done.
That's what I don't get. You mean to tell me
it's just the reason they did it is because the World Cup has sponsors that they'd like to protect. That's all it is. The teams themselves have no relation to the logos and stuff like that. It's just because they're gonna have so much advertisement and people at the actual stadium itself because of the B-roll and stuff like that. That's why they had them cover up any of the logos, or anything that's not involved with the sponsors of the World Cup. But aside from the actual stadiums, there's no legal, hey, you can't have this sponsor on your shirt or anything like that.
My thing is there's no way that these companies couldn't come together and be like, hey, let's make a fucking deal so all of this can be advertised in the World Cup.
Well, I think it's because the 6 companies that are the 3 or 4 companies that have partnered with the World Cup or with FIFA, they have the rights for the next decade or something stupid.
That's crazy. So every time they have a World Cup, pretty much everywhere is gonna have to only strictly be FIFA's sponsors. And I don't know, it's not that big of a deal for the United States. They have the manpower, infrastructure, the money to get it done. But what if it's a country that isn't as well off?
I wasn't paying as much attention.
Well, a lot
really,
of those countries usually don't have advertisements the way the U.S. does.
True, yeah, we do get fucking advertised to hell.
Yeah, I was gonna ask what was it like in in 2022.
In
It's
what?
the same thing. I mean, Coca. If if you actually go back and watch a lot of the World Cups, Coca-Cola's been the main brand for FIFA for like years. And I think it's Coca-Cola. They have billions of dollars. So I'm pretty sure they bought out the rights for many, many years. Because I don't think in Brazil, I don't think in Russia, I'm trying to think in South Africa, they most definitely didn't. The stadiums they're just not built the way they are in the US, where they don't have a bunch of advertisement all over the stadium itself. It's more of like for the team, less for
I mean, it makes sense, 100%.
the money and all that.
I mean, it doesn't sound crazy to me. I just think it's just wild that they like, I just crazy to think that they couldn't come to a deal. Like, there's a price for everything. Like, if you put a number on something, like odds are you're gonna get close enough to where they at least think about it. That FIFA was like, no, fuck this.
Well, they found a way around it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it might end up just working in their favor regardless.
Exactly, not in FIFA's favor,
But yeah,
but
that's what
in
I'm saying. These other brands.
Yeah, it was brilliant. I
Talking
like
about
brilliant marketing.
the Heinz ketchup bottle thing. Imagine having to be the fucking employee that's like, hey, you have to fucking tape up every single Heinz logo on the ketchup.
Seats, brother.
Dude, like,
Yeah,
that's
they did.
They because there's I forget what stadium it is, but they have like advertisement on the seat, like on
Yeah.
the actual like plastic seats or whatever they are.
Yep, they were
They had to
covering
go
it up.
around and sticker those up too.
I would be so fucking mad. I'd be like, am I getting extra for this? Because there's 70,000 seats in this fucking stadium.
Well, that's your goddamn job, brother. You signed up for it. You better put them stickers on that.
Shit,
Yeah.
I don't know if you signed up for all that.
That's funny. All right, what else we got? What's next? I'm ready. Yeah, we can do that. So Jacob Fry is he's the mayor of Minneapolis.
Yeah, Minneapolis. I mean, I don't know who.
Yeah, it's Minnesota.
I say I don't know who this dude
It's
is.
Minneapolis. And they had some kind of march, Somalian march. And so he spoke at it.
Oh, my God.
And basically said, you know, when they say they're coming after you, they're coming after all of us, you know, we're behind you. But the truth is that this community, not that there weren't white people or other people that were big scammers, and it was, but as a community, there was no community more involved in these scams. It doesn't mean every single person, but that as these Somalian people.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not racist to say.
It's
Just factual of what happened. And I had to wonder, like, you have to be fairly smart, or somebody does, to figure out how to put this scam together. And, you know, there's a couple kingpins here. There has to be, because the average person isn't that smart to be able to set up a scam like this.
Yeah.
No matter what their race is. Just the
Yeah,
average person isn't really.
Yeah.
But somebody figured it out and recruited a whole bunch of them. And the whole idea was, if they come after us, we're just going to yell racism, which is what they did. But, well, that operation, Metro Surge, is over for the most part. But 4,000 people were arrested during that period of time. That's a pretty good number.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good number. And I'm starting to see, since there's been the change at DHS with Mullen, that he says that the numbers are up and exceeding what they did last year as far as making arrests for illegal immigration. And we just had that Supreme Court ruling that sided with the Trump administration, that the people in this country, specifically, it was Haitians and some other group, that they had temporary protected status because their country was at war. Their country was dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
But listen to, like, it's called temporary protected status. It's not permanent protective status where you can just come here and, you can just stay as long as you want. It's temporary. And when that threat goes away or is reduced enough that it's, within reason or whatever that would be,
Mm-hmm.
that they can go back home. And people are up in arms now on the left, of course, because these people are going to get sent back home. It's temporary protected status. And when I see these senators and others on X making these posts, tell me, does temporary have some new meaning that I don't know what it is? Is there a new thing where temporary doesn't mean temporary like I thought?
Yeah.
And here's the thing. The Supreme Court ruled correctly. And this happens on both sides where Republicans sometimes aren't happy with the Supreme Court, that the liberals aren't happy with, a decision on the Supreme Court. And a lot of times the real answer is that the Supreme Court did its job in reading the law and applying the law as it was written. And maybe if you want a different outcome, what you have to do as a Republican or a Democrat is go change the law, propose a bill. And if that bill gets passed and you go through all the proper procedures, if it's ever challenged in court, you'll win. And the Supreme Court will be like, yeah, you're good. You change the law. You can change the law. The Supreme Court doesn't say that once they make a decision on a law that it has to stay that way forever. If the people want something different, they can vote for it and make it happen. That's how it's supposed to be. And especially in the case like this, I am not going to stop. I'm not going to stop saying it, and I'm going to keep repeating it because it's one of the major factors behind my support of Donald Trump is that we were going to have mass deportations. That's what was going to happen. Because what's ridiculous is Mamdani now in New York wanting to put a price freeze on rents on about 1 million properties. That just makes the market worse. What makes the market better and more affordable for people isn't freezing the rent, because then the landlords got to be more creative. They got to find cut somewhere that, whether it's the services or something, they'll figure out something, or they'll get out. And then, if you think you can run this so good, then you do that. But it never has worked. These price controls have never worked. And it's just made things worse. What makes things better is building more housing, making more housing accessible. And the more housing there is, I went through this on a business side at one time in Perrysburg, where I was looking to rent a building for my financial office. And there was less than 5% choice. Everything was occupied. Things were booming. So prices, what do you think they could do with the prices? They could push them up because you didn't have a choice, And then there were other times it was the other way around. And as somebody renting, you could push on them a little bit. like, yeah, I'll do 3 years and help you out here, but we're going to do it at this lower amount because that's what the going rate is now. There's a lot available. There's 20% available now on the market. You're not exclusive. You're not the only one. And that's how markets work in the give and take of all that. But you have that happening. The giveaways in New York City so far are working. And I only mean working by not that they're working and are going to have the result that they're telling people they're going to have. That's not going to happen at all. How they're working is the fact that you have that Mamdani's keeping his promises. He's doing what he said he would do. Even though it's going to fuck shit up, he's still doing it.
Yeah.
And then he created a new $15 million budget. This is something New York City is doing, that he created a new office that has to do with trans and DEI and shit. But there's going to be a pool of money. I don't understand exactly how you get access to it, but you can. But there's going to be a pool of $15 million that people can apply for, some of the money to help them with the transition of becoming a man or a woman, of changing their.
Fuck all that.
That's where New Yorkers' tax dollars are going to go.
Well, I hope they're happy about it. They fucking voted for this, so you're gonna get every bit that you asked for. One thing I kind of wanted to point out, and this is about I mean, this is just liberal as it gets, but
Yeah.
at the bottom here we see this quote. It says, this is Jacob Fry saying this, through the most difficult of times and through Operation Metro Surge, we all saw that they tried to come for some of us. Now, he needs to, you reap what you sow, but he should tread carefully with those words, because there's no way that he doesn't know this in the back of his mind, that if the roles were reversed and they had all of the power, the Somalis, whatever community he's trying to uplift right now, they wouldn't have that same empathy, sympathy.
No,
for
they
him.
wouldn't.
They would throw his ass to the side and tell him to shut up, Whitey. I mean, that's what they did. They would tell him to shut the fuck up and sit to the side. Like they wouldn't be like, oh yeah, let's come together and we're all together and one, it's us. No, they would fucking have your ass on the lowest rung of the totem pole, and you wouldn't be able to do a goddamn thing about it.
You know, it's interesting that you say that. Look up real quick. What's the name of the person that is running to replace Nancy Pelosi?
Oh Lord. I actually haven't seen anything about this.
I think it's a wiener, but it's not the wiener that, got in trouble for all the pictures and stuff.
They probably are a wiener, but it's not the same one. Let's see. Who's replacing Nancy Pelosi?
Who's running? There's a guy and a chick.
California State Senator Scott Wiener and San Francisco Supervisor Connie Chan. Those are the two that are running to replace
And I think he's leading right now.
the guy.
Scott Wiener.
Yeah.
What's so funny is he showed up to some trans festival thing here, I think, over the weekend. And then the trans people ran him out. You know why they ran him out?
Why?
Because he wasn't doing enough or advocating enough for Palestinians in Gaza. They attacked him like he's their guy. He's a liberal dude.
Yeah.
And they attacked him over that. And it's so funny, trans attacking somebody over Gaza
Yeah.
with nobody there. Nobody, the Palestinians, even people that just your general average Palestinian doesn't care about your transgender ass.
Hell no. Absolutely not.
don't, because they weren't raised that way.
Yeah, it's a
You know what I
completely
mean?
it's a
Yeah.
completely different culture.
It's not just the government that would throw you off the building. The neighborhood would throw you off the building.
Yeah.
But yet here in the USA, you support them, and there you go. And if you're a liberal, whack job liberal, but you don't prescribe to every single little thing on their test, they will go after you, man.
Yeah, they'll turn on you as quick
Yeah,
as,
they
you've
do
ever
that.
seen. I mean, they do it all the time.
Yeah.
I mean, but I just love when shit like that blows up in people's faces. Like, you get to see what we talk about on a daily basis here is how
Mhm.
how much of a whack job group this is. They're wishy-washy, they flip-flop, they change whatever is important to them every other fucking month. It's like a monthly subscription. They all get together and like, all right, what do we care about this month? Fuck whatever we were just talking about last month. It's whatever. What are we mad about today? And I don't understand how people live life like that. And now I'm just glad that blew up in his face because now he can see that it's not
He'll
not
just still pander to him.
it's the and he will continue to pander to him.
And what he'll do
100%.
is he'll come out with a statement, about Jews are bad and how he supports Palestine. And because I think, well, he's Jewish.
That's even funnier.
Okay,
if
yeah,
so.
he's Jewish. And it wasn't until like earlier this year that, like in January, I believe, that he would finally say that what was going on in Gaza was a genocide. See, that's the other thing. If you just not have to be for them, you have to say that what's going on is a genocide. And that's something that I don't agree with. I have a different definition of genocide than others, and I have a different definition of war and winning. You just look at what we're doing right now in the US of A, and you have Iran, throw a couple of bombs. We throw a couple of bombs back, and now, we're on pause again, and we're going to have talks. That's what happens when you don't have complete surrender. So we may have damaged, and sunk almost all of their ships. Maybe they don't have a plane currently that they can get in the air. Okay. But what Iran has never done throughout all of this is surrender. And Trump's trying to make a deal with a people that refuse to surrender and will never surrender. You have to beat them into submission, and that takes eliminating them. It takes eliminating them, and that also means that might happen with some civilians as well. It just does. And there's not many people in the world anymore that are willing to fight wars and actually win a war where the other side says, we give.
Uncle.
We're uncle. Yeah. And that's why. And, I still support, I'll keep repeating that. I still support my president, but I'm not happy with how this has been going, but for totally different reasons than other people, most people would cite.
Yeah.
It's because to me, it's not going far enough. And I'm not talking about doing this for the benefit of Israel, because honestly, I don't give two fucks about that. I'm just talking about ourselves. Don't it's like being in a fight, and you get in a fight and you thought it was going to be kind of easy, and you are kind of dominating a little bit, but that other motherfucker keeps sliding one in here and there and like knocking a little wind out of you, maybe a little blood coming out of your nose, and you weren't expecting that. So yeah, you might be winning on the card slightly, but you say, hey, can we stop this? And like, what are we going to call it? a draw, we both walk away, and you try to make up some bullshit. That's not how it works. That's not how it works. You gotta defeat the other dude, where either someone else counts him out, or he throws in the towel, or one of his people in his corner throw in the towel. Surrender. That's how you win. Surrender. Anything else, anything less than that, you're just going to have problems. And we see what these problems are. And it's just crazy. But, you know, protecting why they want to protect just one group. Here's what I believe Americans are really, really upset about. You got to, if you're on the lower end of the scale, this is totally legitimate. You got to wonder why you don't have universal health care. Because it seems like if you come to this country and you're poor, and even if you come to this country in the wrong way, there are people out there, states and cities, that want to provide you with free health care. You know, Medicaid, I would describe it, that is a type of universal health care for anybody who qualifies, right? So that person gets that. They might get assistance with some food, might get assistance with some rent as well. And this is just somebody who came from another country and even illegally getting these benefits. But you're busting your ass for $16 an hour somewhere, and the company just, you know, it's a small company. They're trying to grow, and they don't provide health care yet. Or if they do provide it, you got to pay a big chunk towards it, and you turn it down because you just can't afford that much to come out of your check because you got rent to pay, gas to put in the car payment to possibly make, right? So you're struggling doing this while somebody else can come in and get money from the same government. You're an actual citizen of the country. You were born here. Your parents were born here. You're a mutt, probably, at this point. Most of us are mutts.
Yeah.
You know, we got, we do some DNA testing, and if you got 50% of anything, it's probably going to be rare. It's going to be 5% this, 7% that, and you're a mutt, but you're an American mutt, and you're here, and you're willing to work hard, trying to learn, and it's not that you want the handout. It's the fact that somebody else is getting it, and why should they get it over you? Because it doesn't seem right why somebody coming from a shithole country or wherever can come in and get those types of benefits. And where everybody's coming at them. Oh, do you know you can get this? Oh, do you know you can sign up for this? Oh, you can get this kind of childcare. But what about you? What about the people at the low end of the middle class or at the high end of poverty? That's the thing too. Why are they're upset? Because they don't. These aren't people who believe in socialism. These people. I don't think most people, even on the Democratic side, you just got a bunch of crackpots that are really loud. I don't think most people on the Democrat side want socialism. What they want is, if the money is being handed out, I want mine. If a non-American is getting it, well, I want it. And I don't have an argument for that. I totally understand that. My response, though, at least to politicians who are on this big tirade now about increasing taxes, and especially on wealthier people. And I don't know if you heard this, so this is really fucked up and weird. So there's going to be a billionaire tax on the ballot in California. It's going to be on there. That part's already done. It's been approved. It will be on there. And it was the SEI Service Union.
I'm not 100%.
SEIU, I think it is.
Not too sure.
They're the ones that were one of the big sponsors. And I don't know if it was teachers too, but two unions were big sponsors for it, right? And so it's on the ballot, and Governor Newsom came out and said before he don't think it's a good idea, that he's not going to vote for this one-time 5% tax on billionaires. And because if you look at the history of taxes and how they presented the income tax to the American people, go look that history up. That was supposed to be temporary too.
Yeah.
What the fuck did that turn into?
It turned into a staple.
So how about this? So he says he wants to vote against it, but here's why. Because he knows, and he says this, that there are people that will move out of California and that won't be good. So what we need to do, according to Governor Newsom, is vote that down in California, elect him president, and make it a national tax on billionaires. So then you can't go hide in a different state. And so the billionaires in California are just going to stay, because even if they move to Montana, they're still going to have to pay the billionaire tax. So they're just going to stay. They're not going to move to Texas. They're not going to move to Florida, because it's not going to help them avoid that tax, right? That's what his, and not only did he say that, but because these lunatic communists have been winning, he wants there to be a tax on the top 10%.
Yeah. Well, good luck. Good luck with all that. Well, what's stopping?
But that really makes it. Here's the thing, though. Top 1%, depending on the state, because I looked this up, because I'm at the bottom of the top 1%, is anywhere from 800,000 to $1 million. That's the range. The top 10% can be as low as 150,000 for an individual. 150,000. Do you know what $150,000 would do for you in LA?
Just be getting by, pretty much.
If you're getting by, you probably have a roommate.
Mm-hmm. I think it was like 120,000. They said that you need to make 120,000 or more to not be poverty level in California.
Yeah,
We're probably more specifically talking LA, but yeah, it's fucking.
Well, you
nuts.
look at here's the math, the simple math. If it's 150, if you have 150,000, 50's going to taxes, so that leaves you 100, and you're going to be paying. I don't even know if you can get a place for $3,000, probably $4,000 and up to rent.
Yeah.
Okay, $4,000. That's another 50,000.
Yep.
So just between taxes and housing, you got $50,000 left to live your life, to eat, to have a car, to fill up gas with the car, and all the other things. I'm not saying you can't live, or that's just horrible, but that's not rich money. That's my point. The idea that people need to understand is they're not just going to go after the rich. Eventually, so it might include you.
Yeah.
It might include you.
Yep. Meanwhile, all those taxes, all those kickbacks go straight up to them, and they get to fucking.
And it
live like
hasn't
kings.
worked. So my thing is, like, where is the outcry from the people to cut spending? Literally cut spending. And what I would do is I would look at what the revenues are supposed to be, and then I would look at the budgets, and let's say we have to go back to 2019. That in 2019, the budget was $4.5 trillion. And now the budget's $7 trillion, but it was $4.5 trillion in 2019. And now the revenues are $4.5 trillion. Real simple budget. Go back to the budget and fund things as things were funded in 2019. And if some of those things are, things get cut, and you have to determine which ones are more important than others, but you can't spend more than what that was. And your baseline for starting it is that budget, because you can cover it then. You can cover it. It was just not many years ago that we could do that. There's a way, and it's indiscriminate. It's not attacking anybody. It's just cutting because that's what you have to do. It's not any different than our personal finances.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just want more people to talk about cutting spending, because there is raising taxes should come after that. They should be required to balance, to literally really balance the budget, to not borrow and not print more money. That causes inflation. That is the reason why people who don't have assets feel like they're falling behind. Inflation increases the value of assets, real estate, gold, property. That's what happens with inflation. It increases the value of those things. So what, you want to help people out? Stop printing money. Stop printing extra money. And then it's such a scam. Do people realize how big a scam it is that the government prints money, and not everybody in the world wants to own our bonds or loan us money? So basically, we loan money to ourselves. Show me how that fucking works on a spreadsheet. Where do I get to do that for myself? So they print money, and then they buy their. We are the biggest owner of bonds, not China, not Japan. We own more of our own bonds than any other country does. It's just facts. And that just seems, common sense should just tell you how crazy that is. And it's just, and it will only last as long as people want to believe this myth, because that's what it is. It's a myth. It's not really true. You're just hoping and praying, and you got through today. Well, we made it through today. We're good. But at some point, there's going to be a day of reckoning. And we can either have serious conversations about that now. And I think, the Republicans don't have a leader right now that's willing to come out and talk about those kinds of things in that way, who wouldn't be an idiot or a crackpot. I don't know of one, really. But that's what we need. We need, I would call it a 2026 version of Newt Gingrich. Newt Gingrich, one of the things he had like this plan. And he had these exact points of the things that they were going to do. And he ended up doing everything but about 2 of them. But they had a plan that they ran on, things that they were specifically going to do. And that worked. And I think it would work, again, for either side that wanted to do it. Have a real plan. Because that's what the Democrats, the plan is getting rid of Trump and hating Trump supporters is not a motherfucking plan. That doesn't count. It doesn't count. You got to do something else. And we really need to be pushing. We need to be pushing this for anybody who posts anything political on any social media. We need to get this out there. We need for the algorithm to pick this up, that we are starting to demand real cuts. Real cuts. And we know the money's there because when you can fund things like gender equity in Ecuador for $5 million, we can use that $5 million here, or we can just use that as part of the cuts. Let's just line that one out. Let's reduce this budget to the 2019 budget, and here's how we're going to do it. No more new money to Ecuador. They can figure out their own gay shit. That's not our job in this country, is to figure out all that shit for all these other countries. People say, oh, well, people are starving, and Musk, he starved all these kids. If you really want to feed the kids, that's fine. But get rid of the other shit. Show that you come up with the money. Get rid of the stupid things like I just mentioned, and maybe you have some money to do that. But really, that money should be in the people's pockets, and the people, Americans, should decide what organizations they want to support and what they want to send the money to. That never should be have been a government option or operation. That's not originally what any founding father thought that the country should do. Not a single one of them. Government was supposed to be limited. The money is supposed to be in your hands. And I trust you learning and finding out about these organizations and figuring it out if they're legit or not, more than I do the government doing it, because all the evidence points to they're not very good at figuring it out, because the percentage of the fraud is just overwhelming, right? It's just overwhelming. All right. That's my Rush Limbaugh channeling my inner Rush and sharing about that today. So, what day does the USA play this week? Thursday?
Wednesday, I believe.
Wednesday?
Yes.
Wednesday.
Their first game. It's against Bosnia, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. So I thought it was against. We should win.
Yeah.
We've gotten a pretty good draw in terms of our opponents and potential future opponents. So
I think so. Good thing I got that T-shirt and jersey. That shit is all disappearing now.
What?
Anything U.S. men's national soccer.
Yeah.
Like that, you just can't try to order one right now.
Yeah.
It's not there.
Yep.
It's not there. That's all right. The second, the Mercury play the second, so that's when I'll be back in Mortgage Matchup Arena. See what's going on. See what's happening with our team. Who, by the way, the Mercury have now won 2 in a row.
Well, damn. Look at that.
First time all year.
Hey, I mean, never say die, I guess.
I don't know. Mac is coming back. Sammy Whitcomb is joining the team for the first time. She's been there, but she's been in street clothes. I don't really know what injury she had. Akia Moa Kiamakani, she had a hamstring pull, I believe, and she'll be back. So that'll be good too, having another good guard. So we'll see. The whole thing about Caitlin Clark and the cheap shot, it is what it is. People have different opinions, and we'll see what happens from here. But she served, Alyssa Thomas served her 1-game suspension. We'll see what happens. And I think it's the 9th is when the Fever will be coming here. So that'll be a must-go-to game.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll be a packed house.
It'll be a packed house for sure. All right, just have a great week. Just get out there, do what you do. Still believe, still be positive. Do the things that are going to help you, your family, thrive. Just be a man, step up. Let's get to it. This is the Outlaw Apostle Podcast. I'm your host, Troy Neff. I'm the fucking guy.
Who knew I would make it this far? They hated, they never believed me. Yeah, I would never drop the ball. I know I make it look easy. Yeah, Mayweather with the defense. I don't care what a critic got to say. I got them picking up the pieces.